Hello there. I am going to try something new right here. Going for a little bit of a vibe. I owe you Patreon supporters uh something for this ocean of storms. Um it's been rather difficult with the weather and everything like that. Uh but I'm working on it. I got so much stuff. Unfortunately, so much of what goes into an album isn't just the songs, even though I play the songs all the time and I love the songs and everything. There's just a lot, there's the whole concept. So basically, here's the concept. I want to speak on this album. Uh, Never really showcased playing how I want to play. I don't know. I've always just had to play like other people wanted me to play, right? Being a hired gun, it's tough. It's fun, super fun. But it's tough, because I don't know, you never get to play your own songs. So I'm gonna be doing another video shortly. I'm gonna try not to breathe into the mic. I'm gonna be doing another video shortly. Where I'm playing through some of the songs. Right now, there's a quick little test video to show you what's been going on. The whole world's been obviously digital, and I've been building a studio. I've taken everything I've got and I've built what is a control station. I have several monitors. I've had amazing people donate me equipment. I've been running off a laptop. Everything that you've ever seen me do, it's been either on an iPhone or a MacBook, which is pretty good, considering MacBooks are real expensive. And I didn't buy mine like brand new, but it's an early 2015 MacBook, and it has been a workhorse. And I've been just like everyone else, I've been trying to just skate by. I got really lucky. Um, when I was on tour with Nita, I got hired by Static X on the last day. And with my life change during that and separating with my wife, I decided to move out to Los Angeles because that's where the tour ended. And I kind of wanted to be there. And I had other personal interests there, Nita lived there, and I was trying to like keep myself close, and I was, I hung out with Josh a little bit, he treated me so great, dude. He treated me so great. Some of the greatest nights of my life are standing next to that dude. He's amazing. I miss them a lot. I miss everyone a lot. Every time you're away from people, especially when you're like when you're someone who's used to being in like tight knit musician family types, it sucks being apart from them. I've had some of the greatest moments of my life on the road in a van. I finally made it to a bus tour, and then the world shut down. Like I was finally getting bus tours, like it was not just like a shitty van. I did all the. You guys don't know this, no one knows. No one knows the story really. Everyone around me kind of knows what I did, but no one else really knows. I was a 13-year-old kid, and my dad got me my first guitar. It's right behind me. And my life changed for the first time. I found out who I was. I was so lost. I had a rough upbringing. Didn't get along great with my mom. parents were separated because my dad had a problem with alcohol, and him and my mom have super fiery tempers. So like, no discussion ever went great. Not because of any other reason of I don't know. They both just loved each other so much, and it fucking killed them that they weren't together, I think. But and because of that, there's always been this underlying tension with me and my mom. Because I am my father. Like I'm what my father should have been. What my father could have been, and I don't mean that in any negative way. I mean, like, I wish my dad would have believed in himself more, but he had so much doubt in himself that he just like found a steady course and stuck to it, right? But he was a goddamn genius. He knew every single thing about the Ford Mustang. I miss him. In 5 hours, I turned 37. And I feel all the feels. Everyone's dead that was really close to me. And like, I have my son, I have my ex-wife is my best friend. Fucking strange. But I don't get along great with my mom and my stepfather. To be honest, she doesn't see how she hurts me. But I got my first guitar when I was 13. I used to pull it around town in a gig bag. I learned a few Marilyn Manson songs. It's not cool to like him anymore, by the way. And he does some of those Marilyn Manson Nine Inch Nails albums were my world. 90s rock was my world. Howard Stern in the morning, heavy metal, all throughout the day, the night. I used to make mixtapes. All right, so I got my first guitar. I'm gonna ramble this whole time, so it is what it is. We're going for it. Fuck it. Um, I got my first guitar on my 13th birthday, and a few days later, two of my uncles fashioned a cable that went from my guitar to the radio. And so, like, my first amp was naturally, or it was a radio. So naturally, I learned how to play by matching sounds from this and trying to make it sound like what I was listening to. And I learned some dumb shit. Like, I learned this D major chord. I learned a D major chord, and the world didn't fucking make sense to me. But luckily, I loved Nine Inch Nails, and Trent Reznor used the power chord really clear in the video for Wish, so I was able to see. That, and so I just put my fingers like this. And when I asked someone, I was like, "Yo, what chord is this?" He was like, "Yo, it's a G chord." I was like, "I don't know what that means." And like, I figured out just that if I moved it, that it made all the different sounds of all the different bands that I was listening to, and I was like, "Oh, damn." Right? So like, I have no formal training. I'm a teacher. I teach formally, but I myself have no formal training. What I have is a borderline unsafe hobby slash addiction. Right? It's pretty unsafe. It's by me playing guitar. I've brought a lot of people close, but I've pushed a lot of people away too. So I don't know. I figured out this power chord thing, and then I kind of just learned how to play every song, you know. Then I learned drop D. A little sloppy. I need to tune anyway. I'm gonna tune before I jam. I'm gonna jam a little bit. But I just wanted to give some background. So like, one of my friends had a band. This kid that I knew from preschool. His name's Jared. He was one of my first drummers, but like, he wasn't my drummer at first. At first, I used to just hang around his band. There was this other group of goth girls that I don't know for some fucking reason. I thought they like we were friends. We were friends for like 2 fucking weeks, and then I don't know. They hated me fucking forever. They've always fucking hated me. I don't know. It was just goth kids. You know, I was like a goth kid in the 90s because I listened to Manson and Nine Inch Nails and Typo Negative um and there was like no one to communicate with. And so like I met these kids who were kind of like rock and roll, kind of like punk, kind of like alternative, like whatever the fucking 90s was. Blue hair sometimes, fucking face piercings, like whatever that 90s shit, shit is. And that's what I grew up listening to. And then I learned like System of a Down songs, Misfits songs. I got really big into the Misfits, which was so cool to later on play for Michael Graves, as some of you know. But yeah, I just kept doing it, and I sat in my room, and then Dale Earnhardt died. What? And then Dale Earnhardt died and unleashed this riff. And I learned that I can move these chords. And the reason why I play these chords in these places is because they sound like shit everywhere else. So like played out of context, right? So I just found this power chord. And this is my favorite position. That's because I like this band Witch Moon, and who later would have such a deeper root here with this riff. It's a riff by a band called Witch Moon, and the song is called Harvest Moon. Now that song was also by, like, the singer used it in his other band, Example 24. But that riff is like a Mr. Monster riff, and like Jason, the singer of Mr. Monster, God rest his soul, he like wrote that, and there's like some obscure Mr. Monster song that Joe Vasta showed me, where it is that riff, like, and it's undeniable. So like those dudes can fight over that. But I heard the Witch Moon song and the Example 24 song. I had the CD and the tape. They were just like a local band, Craig Marshall. Another dude who I just like idolized, and I don't know, just fucking hated me for being, quote, overbearing. I was just like an eager kid trying to learn, you know. You want to be a dick to a kid for that? That's fine. I was lost. No one took me in. It was so I like just stuck to the guitar. I don't know. I was always pissed off because of shitty home life, so I didn't have a lot of friends in that regard. Started hanging around with these kids in Midland Park. Brought my guitar. I used to walk summers, like summer days, for what would feel like millennia. But I would walk these summer days, and I would have this guitar in a hard case. And I think by this time I had bought my second guitar, which was the Marilyn Manson guitar. I was so into it, right? And like now that guitar has my signature guitar pickup in it, and my first Plan 916 pickup in the neck. But my pickup's in the bridge. But it means so much to me too that these. Where is it? This guy. I can't ever do this. There we go. 916. Matt has treated me so well, man. He's taken care of everything. The reason why my guitar playing has been so amazing to, unfortunately, more my ears than anyone else's. I mean, unfortunate for you. But my voice is so hoarse. I've been like working a whole bunch. I don't feel great either. Um, but yeah, so I used to just haul my guitar to Midland Park, and I would have to walk. Realistically, man, it was like a 2 hour walk in the 90-degree weather. It would be so hot that my buddy Jared would help me carry it sometimes. Because he would walk from his house. So when we would hang out in Midland Park, he would walk 2 miles from his house to my house, and then we'd both walk to his house to hang out. And then when we'd hang out at my house, I'd walk to his house, and then we'd both walk to my house. That's how we used to do it, kids. All right? That shit was so far. And we used to do that, and I used to bring hard cases, dude. And we used to have to walk, and we used to do that trek, like hauling hard cases. That's why I loved Mono Case so much, because, bro, you've never. I know that like 99% of the world has no idea how much it sucks to walk 2 miles in 90 degrees holding two hard cases when you're like, I don't know, 15, right? 15, 16, 14, something like that. Fucking all the time, almost every day. Every summer day for sure, you know? And I'd bring my hard case to high school with me. I used to bring it to every class. I brought the Manson guitar with me everywhere. I've always brought my guitar with me everywhere. I sank into it. I didn't really get along with people too well. I don't really get along with people too well. I try so hard, and I love people, but my abrasiveness when I'm passionate about something, my abrasiveness is it turns people away. Whatever. I don't mean any offense. But so I used to carry this guitar. I used to hang around this band. I used to watch them, whatever they did. I just watched them really closely. And then I just would practice at home. And so I used to record songs off the radio. And then I used to record songs off the radio, and then I'd like set up my amp. I'm sorry, I'm like so spacey, but like you got to realize I'm jumping back 25 years here. What the fuck? My iPhone just played "The Unnamed Feeling" by Metallica on Saint Anger, which I don't even have on my phone. I don't think. No, I must. So anyway, I don't know why the fuck that happened. So I got addicted. Yeah, Metallica. Duh. I'm like an asshole. Metallica. It. Thanks. Metallica was huge. Oh God. So I stole my dad's Metallica albums. I stole Injustice for All, and I stole Enter Sandman. And he used to yell at me, and he was so mad at me for stealing them. But those records changed my life. I started getting heavier with my guitar. So I used to set up my boombox on top of my amp, and I used to face him down like a monitor, right? So that way, and I would have to match the volume of the amp with the volume of the boombox on top, and it couldn't be too loud because sometimes I played CDs I would play like live albums by Manson and shit, of course. Um, and I'd play through the whole live album, but it couldn't be too loud because then the CD would skip, and my mom would fucking yell at me. But I used to set up my pedals. My Aunt Maria got me my first bunches of pedals. I swear to God, I feel like everybody who did support me in my music also fucking hates the fact that I did music. I don't know, man. This thing has made me happy. This thing has made me happy. Um, yeah, man. And so I just played my guitar every single day, damn near. Um, Sometimes it was bullshit, and so I had to teach myself all this stuff. And it's like I would buy books. Back in the day, there was no YouTube, there was no like internet the way it is. There were guitar tabs online in the infancy of like Ultimate Guitar. I'm pretty sure has been around since like the dawn of the internet, or something like that. It was like Tab Mall, there was something that we all used to use, but that shit was always wrong. And it would get you close, and then you'd have to figure it out. I've asked guys how they figured out like crazy hard solos and stuff, and they said they just used to buy like live tapes, and they would go frame by frame and like fucking match it up. Match up the sounds. All you have to do is match sounds. Um, yeah. So I jam this thing every day, damn near. I know I'm so guilty. I give everyone a hard time, like, just fucking play however often. I'm addicted to playing guitar. I'm addicted. Hi, I'm Dean, and I'm a guitar addict. True story. And sometimes I followed the wrong pieces of advice. I'm so hoarse today, man. I got this new vape. Totally why. Um, yeah, I got this fortune cookie somewhere along the way that said something's only worth what you're willing to give up to obtain it. And I kind of took that to the law. I basically just have I hung around bands, and someone asked me one time, and I told my own I told my own future. I wanted to be known that I told my own future. I Someone asked me one time. It might have been like after I'd already been in a few bands or whatever. I want to tell you all of it, but you understand that would take 37 years, 20 something. What is it? 24 years. In 3 hours, it'll be 24 years that I've been playing guitar. But I used to just follow around bands, carry amps. I would go to live shows, watch the bands, watch their hands, match what they did. When I go home, I used to go to shows with my guitar. They'd be like, "Are you playing?" I'd be like, "No," but my guitar would be with me. If that stuff makes me overbearing, so what? I don't give a shit. I've just always wanted to do this. I have done everything that I've ever wanted to do. The rest is just bonus. I can proudly say. I didn't make as much money as I wanted to, right? Duh, because like the industry changed. Um, but I can proudly say like everything I ever wanted to do with a guitar in my hand, I've done, and I'm proud of myself for sticking it out. And now it's just for me. Um, in all this stuff and all these bands and all these ticket sales and all these clubs and all these venues and all these shitty living situations. And dude, I did everything. I did everything. I did everything. I lived pretty much most of the stereotypes except for drugs. Um, I've smoked weed, and I don't actively tell my son that, but like I don't care. I don't drink. I, for the most part, don't smoke. I vape. Um, I don't know if that's worse or not. I don't know. It definitely doesn't feel as bad as when you smoke a cigarette. That's for sure. Um, but I lived a lot of the stereotypes other than the drugs. Um, I played in punk bands. I played in metal bands. I played guitar. I played bass. Did the bus tours. I got to play with Michael Graves from the Misfits. Like I remember being 15 years old, right? And I'm so proud to say, like, bucket list thing. I saw the Misfits with Michael Graves when I was 15, and it changed my life. And I'm pretty sure I won those tickets off of Seton Hall's radio station. Seton Hall, 89.5 WSOUUU, South Orange. 89.5 WSOU, right? That changed my life. Getting to hear these local bands, getting to hear bands, getting to going out to a bar and meeting a band that I heard on the radio was fucking crazy to me. It really was, man. It was intense. And with that radio station, they played so many local bands, and there were so many good bands. The New Jersey metal and hardcore and punk scene was fire, dude. It was fire when I was growing up. I even like I grinded. I was in so many shitty bands. I was in a black metal band, and then I was in, and when I say shitty, I mean like, clearly no one cared. Otherwise, you'd know who these bands were, right? Um, I cared. I cared. We cared. And that's all that mattered, right? Um, but we always everyone wanted the big dream when I was growing up. We all wanted the big dream of the music. And I joined a couple bands. I wound up getting in Darkness Descends, who was a shitty, shitty band that I knew from back in the day. And they definitely got better. They definitely got better. They were just as shitty as I was. Like, we were two shitty bands that used to play, Verfallen and Darkness Descends. We both sucked. But Darkness got good. Darkness got really good. And then I wound up, splitting a room with these guys. And then through a manner of ways, I wound up just joining the band to fill in real quick. And then, I don't know, I just joined the band. And I was difficult to work with in that band. I'm always difficult to work with. I can accept that. It is what it is with me. Everybody who works with me knows if I'm giving you a hard time, it's because I love you and because I want it done right. That's it. If we don't do it, we don't. If like, I've been abandoned by so many people in my life that when it comes to anything with music, I hardline it. I do, man. Like, I had all the tropes. I've literally been abandoned and lied to my whole life, right? But when it comes to music, I put my foot down, and you'd think I was a drill sergeant. I don't do it on purpose, but god damn it, man! Like, I love what I do. I do, man. I love what I do. So, and like seriously, when I say that I've done everything, I'm not gloating. What I mean is, at the when I was 13 years old, and I grabbed my first guitar, and I sat down in the room for the first time, and I like thought all the thoughts of becoming a rock star, right? Everything that I thought of, pretty much all along the way, other than the financial freedom. I I kind of did all that. I didn't do like everything. I didn't do like, I didn't have my face on all the record covers and all the magazines. I don't care. Whatever. Like, but I played all the awesome venues. I played with shredtastical phenomenal bands. I have met hundreds and hundreds of musicians. So, that thing I was saying before, that question, I told my own future. Remember I said that? I told my own future. Maybe that's what I'll call this. One day I was sitting out at a bar in one of my bands, and someone, I might not even, no, it might not even been that long. I don't know when it was. I just know what it was. All right. So, some distant time in the past, someone asked me one time, like, man, how do you expect to make it in the music industry? I was like, bro, that's the easy part. And like, what do you mean that's the easy part? I go, dude, that's the easy part. He goes, what do you mean it's the easy part? And I was like, I'm just going to hang around long enough and work hard enough. And one day, me and all of my friends are going to be the music industry. And I am by no means at the top of the food chain, but I'm on the chain. You know, I don't care to what level. I have a backstage pass where I was at Dime Bash. Maybe the last ever Nam of 2019. Um, I was able to procure a pass, right, and go to Dime Bash, like Pantera, dude. Oh man, see, I knew I'm gonna be skipping all over the place. I wanna state this for the record that John Dilger and Rob DeMena are the reason why I love Pantera so much, because they used to play Far Beyond Driven nonstop. But there was one thing that pissed me off. My favorite song is Becoming, and everyone else's favorite song was 5 Minutes Alone. And if I'm not mistaken, on the album, I think like the second track or something is Becoming, and the third track. Yeah, I'm doing this from like memory of literally envisioning myself at the Waldick pool right now. And I always wanted to hear Becoming, and they always wanted to hear 5 Minutes Alone, and they would always start on track 3 instead of track 2. And that fucking killed me, man, because I love that. Like that. Like, I know that was clean, but like that sound, man, that it was like Dime made his guitar make a sound that I never heard before. I was like, how the hell did he do that? Right? And so much of my journey has been trying to trying to get a guitar to not just sound like a guitar. That's been my main focus when I have my me time, right? When I'm not on the clock for someone else, when I have my me time. Um that that's what I do. That's what I used to do. Because I didn't know anything, right? So I have no formal training. 13 years old, I kind of just learned to power chord, and then I moved it, and then I like added my fingers, and I made different shapes, and so because of that, like I've never been like a lead guitar player. Many of you might disagree, but understand in most of the bands that I've been in, I've never been the shining knight of the lead guitar, even though I'm capable of doing tons and tons of techniques that I've been practicing my entire life. There's always been just someone who, I don't know, just did it smoother, did it faster. Like currently, Zaki Ali. What? Horns up, horns up. But yeah, so I kept, oh, I kept working. I kept playing. I kept finding another band. I moved from band to band to band to band. I have been a band whore. I've been in so many bands. I don't think I can name them all, and that's not even including the 10 that were just like me programming shit or playing guitar, like, or even like full demos and stuff, like not like this demo stuff and like little collabs. I have like hundreds and hundreds of songs, by the way. Most of them suck. Some of them are just ideas. But I've been able to procure like most of it. I have pretty much everything. I have my first cassette tapes. I used to sit in my mom's basement at both the houses we lived at. And I got a tape recorder, obviously, because tape. And you could get tape anywhere, and tape was cheap. Dude, and you know what? Future guitar players, man, and bass players. Get a tape recorder. Get like a Tascam. Listen to like a metronome in your ear with your AirPods. But record to tape. It's dirt cheap. You don't need a whole computer. And you get all these things have digital outs now. You just record, like, you record it to tape, and you can rewind, right? I'm going to start doing that. I use voice memos. That's good. I got a lot. I wrote a lot of songs by like on the road. I wrote a plethora of songs that I don't even know if I have demos for. I have to go through it. I still don't even know if everything that I've shown you so far is everything I have for this album. I have so many lyrics written. I have so many songs written. I have 30 songs written. Maybe 35. And what I said, I really want to showcase me, I've been on this journey for a really long time. And I've done lots of cool things. I told my own future, and like I did. I hung around long enough. I worked hard enough. And goddamn, I just did 2 tours playing bass for Nita Strauss, and that is the complete opposite of like any type of hard like military tour, right? Which, by the way, I got tattoos that kept me out of the military. What? Lucky as all heck. But sure, that'll help. But yeah, so I just did 2 tours playing bass for Nita Strauss, and after that, I was just working with Static X and Dope and Devil Driver. I met so many phenomenal people on that tour. Don't let metalheads scare you. I know that like every once in a while people like fight on the road and be like assholes and like whatever. Every single person on that tour was a sweetheart. And even if they were assholes, I think they were sweethearts because everyone was super nice to me. I was the new guy who nobody knew, but I came real early on in the beginning of the tour, like 2 or 3 days in, to drive the merch truck. I had to make a split-minute decision. I was either going to come home the last night of the Nita Strauss tour, or I was going to... sometimes I feel like I'm repeating myself. That's also some of these pauses here. Because, like, to some of my friends and stuff, I've said these stories before, but I'm just trying to, like, let other people know, like, some of the awesome, amazing times that I'm so grateful for. But yeah, I had to make a last minute decision and decided to go on tour for another 6 weeks with Static X. And then during that time is when I decided to move out to LA. But I was going through some stuff and I wrote so many songs. And that tour, there was so much driving because I wasn't playing. So there was no partying for me ever. I don't think I drank. I didn't drink a single night. I may have had like one fucking beer one time. But I don't think I drank a single day on that tour. But I drove the whole time, and whenever I was at the hotel or if there was off days and I was playing my guitar and I was doing my thing, I was just like sitting under a tree like and I would write my songs. What's the song I wrote? Like no. I haven't played this in a while. Let's see. No. Oh, I forgot that part. Yeah. I know it's like sloppy as hell, but I haven't recorded this one yet, so let's see. Let me turn this off. Give her a good tune. So there's no silence in here. Yeah, so like I wrote a whole bunch of songs while I was on the tour. I was going through some super major pain, and I've always done that. I've always written a song that cured my pain. That was always the thing that I figured out. Like, I don't know. I used to write a lot of poetry, but I felt very guarded because poetry, people can understand what you're saying, right? And I've been depressed my whole life. Duh. Who gives a shit? I mean, like me, like I don't care. But I've always felt things so deeply. So the natural thing for me, all right, so I feel like I've always had this like one up on everyone. You know, when that guitar got put in my hand at 13 years old, if you've followed this story thus far. By the way, anything you'd like me to expand upon, since I am just rambling on, trying to give whoever's watching this an overall synopsis, of what's going on, and who I am and what I'm doing, and what's going forward. Right, this is my first video that I'm making. I've been holding off on this for a really long time, but I've always dealt with pain by writing a song about it. And then this is one of them. I'm gonna try. I'm using this Eddie Van Halen pick one of my students gave me, but it's too thin for me. I know it's totally like country bumpkin, right? Like I'm gonna get groovy with it on my acoustic. Choruses. Can you tell it was written on an acoustic, And now the lyrics for that are going to be I'm torn here because I'm going to tell a story with just the chorus. The chorus is going to be evolving. It's going to be almost the same like throughout. But some of the words here and there are going to tell a story. I will share that soon. What is that? Lose It All, I think? No, that's Alex's song. Give It All. I'm gonna give it all. I'm gonna risk it all. Wish I was good enough. Could I ever be good enough? I gotta work some stuff out. I'm also really hoarse right now. My singing got better. So like if you have listened to my first album, it's like punk rock, and I like did that album kind of like in a rush. So I was like playing. All right, so I played for all these different bands, and then I'll get more into songs and stuff. But I played for all these bands, and then I got hired for this band. I got hired for that band. I got hired for this band. I could spend 10 hours just talking about my damn resume, which I'm, again, so grateful for, and I'm not bitching. What I'm saying is I don't want to waste your time with it. I do want people to know because I feel like, not because I want to feel special, just because, like, I'm proud. I'm proud of every single goddamn band that I've been in. I'm proud of every single second I've been on stage. I don't care what band it is. I don't care how shitty it was. I don't care how, goth it was and how horrible it was and how too loud it was and how, I'm the whatever. Whatever. Uh but I'm proud of everything I've done. I'm super proud. And I'm super proud that like I actually did something. Like I said, if I never did anything in music again other than just like what I do and like teach and stuff, totally cool. Totally cool. Um but I want to do stuff like this. I want to do Patreon. I don't really want to I don't think I even want to go on the road anymore. Um Who the hell's gonna want to do that? I'm scared shitless just going to the grocery store nowadays. I sure as shit don't want to start traveling the world and contact the next thing. I almost got to the top of the music industry by like, I was gonna get hired by Danzig, and if you ask me, Danzig is top of the food chain. If you inspired Metallica, you are an OG. The only thing that would top Danzig, um, which I didn't even get to work for Danzig. I worked for Tommy Victor in Prong, and I was scheduled to Guitar Tech, right? Dude, it's top of the food chain. Singing the Misfits. Oh, so I'm lucky enough that I saw the Misfits with Michael Graves when I was 15. Say what you want about it. I don't care. I loved it. Screw off. I played with Michael Graves, but I used to like see Gotham Road. I used to go to every Michael Graves show, and like I even broke up with one of my bands. I was like, I'm just gonna get this guy to sing, and I was like, I'm just gonna get Michael Graves to sing one day. Like screw you. Lo and behold, like 10 years later, I wound up playing for him. And it's not like I wrote any songs with him or nothing. I just played bass on some sick amount of shows. He didn't love me either, but he has a hard time getting along with people too. And what sucks? Say what you want, man. I spent time with that man. Inside, he's a sweetheart. He's fighting his battles of the world his way, and he shouldn't be judged for him. He might not say the right thing, but nothing that comes out of his mouth is with ill intent. It might be controversial. It might not be what you want to hear, but I'm sorry. I lived next to that man for 4 months on the road. Like, at any point in time, like he was right here. And that dude's a sweetheart. He was just getting a bad rap. He always has gotten a bad rap, and probably always will. But he's a great, great, great man. Amazing father too. And I was so happy and so proud to stand alongside him and one of my best buds, Loki, on those tours. And then I got to see Danzig Misfits. I showed up to, after playing in all these bands, all these Darrow Chemical Companies and Children's of Octobers and the Independents and Black Cat Attacks and all these horror punk bands. I showed up to the Newark, New Jersey, as closest to the hometown as you'll get, Misfit show, which consequently I was at for Michael too. I saw him at the Rec Room in Wallington, and Jerry was like, he's like, I think this is the closest we've ever played to our house ever. And it's probably bullshit, but I'm sure there's some American Legion somewhere that he played, but nothing like that. But yeah, I saw the Danzig Misfits, and like, if you ask me, Danzig's the top. He might not be the top talent, he might not be your favorite cup of tea. It might be too heavy. It might be whatever. I don't care. If you inspired Metallica, you are the granddad, of what we like. more people I know detuned their guitars, um, or tried to get a heavier sound. And it's funny because like Danzig even tuned in standard tuning, right? But everybody, I think like some stuff is down, but like everyone wanted to be heavier than him, and that was so hard. It was like Danzig was like the second coming of Black Sabbath, Um, yeah, at least it was for me. Black Sabbath was big for me, and I definitely knew of Black Sabbath and Ozzy way before I ever knew who the Misfits were. So at least I have that. I come from the generation of, I'm 37 years old, so do the math. It's 2021. Um, I was born in 1984. Coincidentally, in 2021, we're living in 1984. But yeah, my parents were just of the age where I was exposed to a good chunk of rock. I was exposed to a good chunk of dance music and country too. Because, I lived with the mom. So, mom didn't exactly, blast Marilyn Manson, in the minivan when dropping me off at work, or at school rather, unless I really, really begged for it. But you know what she would do is the song that she liked, whatever dance. You know how many times I got dropped off to school with Funky Town blasting like my mom was in the party van? Bro. Is anything she did, she got me to just accept who I was. She doesn't like me much either. That's what it is. So yeah, I've been writing these songs. I've been working on these things. I'm so focused on chords now. This is a new one. It'll be fast. These are the beautiful, beautiful chords. But yeah, so for me, every song has a story. Not every. I don't know. Unless you're like one of those like studio machines, I'm pretty sure every riff of every song and every hit of every song and every word of every song means something to somebody somewhere who wrote it. Maybe not everything, like some things are just written for filler and some things are just written, but that doesn't mean it isn't art. That doesn't mean it doesn't come from somewhere. It doesn't mean that somewhere in the subconscious you're not telling a story about something you love or hate, which, let's be honest, if you hate something, it's probably because you secretly love it, right? At least when it comes to girls, right? A lot of my songs are about relationships. But yeah, so Sorry, my guitar was out of tune before. I don't know. This is like informal. This is like the first video. I'm just making sure I start this thing up because I want to do so much. I've been doing so much in the background. The thing that I'm dreading the most is just finishing it, man. Like, I still have to get in the studio and do stuff, and I am gonna be playing you songs coming up. This is just me popping the cherries, so to speak, right? Um, oh, change tuning. I wanted to try something new, so right, like, yes, I'm gonna get to the other songs, but I wanted to play for you. That's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to do something for you that isn't gonna be anywhere. You aren't gonna see this on an album. This is just me and you. All right. I figured the best way after all this talk and saying this shit, just kind of trying to let you know where I come from. The people who are watching this right now, on my Patreon, you guys might know some of that. Maybe not. MJ, you might not. But Rob, I know you know a whole bunch of this stuff. But yeah, like, I've worked really hard, and now I love playing. So to finish out this video, I'm gonna take the next 2 hours before my birthday to relax, chill out, take it easy. I'm gonna finish this video out with a little jam off of YouTube. I did not write this backing track, but it helps me speak through the pain. Well, hello. Well, like I said, this is a work in progress. I was gonna play this other thing because the whole point, like I said, of Ocean of Storms and everything that I'm trying to conceptualize is like just being me, right? Like just trying to expose you all to what I really feel when I'm behind this thing. Trying to just make sure this thing's on. It's cool. You get to see a little bit more of the insides. Oh, poo. The lighting here changes daily for some reason. I'll have everything lit perfectly, and then, I don't know, it'll all just suck all of a sudden. All right. So, I was going to do this other thing. I was going to jam on top of this backing track that I found on YouTube, right? And I know it's kind of lame, right? But it it really it gave me a good platform to just speak. But I've been making my own platforms anyway, and I just did this lesson with Rob, one of you, and I told him I was like, I felt a little snarky. I was like a little tired, right? And I was like, it's just so goddamn easy for me to make a riff, and it's because I have a lot of pain, right? That's what we have. We're artists. We have a lot of pain. And then I just literally just shit this riff right out, right? And it's just something simple, and it has everything that I like in it. You getting that? Yeah. And so that's what I want to bring to you is showing you how in this album the whole point is to get the songs that sound the best. And for me, a song that sounds the best is a single riff that I can listen to over and over and over again. And this is just the beginning. I didn't know and haven't really known what I was doing up until this point. But I got it under control, you know. I changed over my computer and I was like 80% right away. But after like my buddy was here the other day, I'm I'm willing to say that I'm 100%. So any other stuff that has to happen is going to be solely on me. I have no more excuses than to really be pumping stuff out. So I play that a little bit faster, right? Or however. And right before, I just made a loop. And so I'm going to play it. I'm still working on it. But this is brand new. And this is definitely going to be part of this. And I'll show you a couple other songs too. And so there's going to be this song just happened, this riff. I'm already calling it a song, by the way. That's how much I believe in what's going to come from me once I start recording this song, right? I could just, it's in D minor. And I didn't know that when I wrote it. You know, what I was explaining to Rob was that I like chords that sound dark and sad. Most like, I don't know, most people who dive into music start to like minor music, I think, because the confliction, it just sounds so more intriguing, right? Like, we're always searching for what's the perfect note. Well, somewhere it's in like the perfect grouping of notes. And I just know that, like, these little tropes. I don't have any water. Um I just know like these little tropes, and apparently like the saddest key is D minor. And I was just, like I said, I was showing him this thing. it was. I'm gonna keep getting sidetracked because I just love playing it. But I like to have one note travel down chromatically if possible. It's one of my faves. Oof, feel that. Heck yeah. I just like that pain. I really do. And so that's one of them. It's brand new idea. It's like hot off the presses, but only like half the page, not even half the page is print. You know. Here we go. I'm gonna do this loop. I'm gonna show you how I do it, how I practice it, because it's all you know. Now's the recording process. Uh, all right, so like when I'm jamming that, I practice that loop, and all right, sorry, I record that loop because when I do this chord change, I'm only one guitar player, and it is a very chromatic piece. I'm trying to play as many of the notes out of the 12 as possible. Usually in any key, you're using 7 notes, and then there's 5 left over. I've added in 2 of the 5, uh, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I have to think about it, but I'm trying to get a riff where I play every single note chromatically, like, you know, from A to A, however you want to look at it, there's 12 notes. Um, in a riff, because the jazz guys, they make every single note sound good, right? And every note has a purpose if you know why you're putting it there. So many people will just shred a minor scale or shred a harmonic minor scale, and that's cool, and I love it, and I love the way it sounds. And you know, they do arpeggios and they skip over and they hang there and they hang there. But like what makes the blues so beautiful is that note that they're putting in doesn't belong, right? And when you play the blues, if you just fret that, it's like whatever. But if you bend through it, you get the pain. And so in this riff, I'm not going to be bending or whatever, but I'm still trying to get the pain because it's chords. It's like, you know, there's vibrato and stuff, but here's like the main idea so far. And like that's what I'm going for. I'm going for something thick, something rich, you know? I really feel like I really feel like the more updates I give you guys is going to be better for me because usually I'm always thinking all this stuff, right? And I can't. It feels so good to say a lot of it out loud. And like you know, some of you, when I do lessons, I do say this out loud. You guys are my melting pot. So we're gonna call that the the new song, melting pot. That one's for you, Rob. So yeah, and then what else we got? What else do we have planned here? You guys wanted to hear some. Let me grab my phone. I like put my phone away. Oh, here it is. I didn't really have it away. I lied. Oh, so I know one. So we have. Let's go down to drop D. Those are like just some of the ideas I wanted to show you guys. This one's Surrender. Still undone. And then like the chorus is what do we got here? See, I'm gonna change this chorus. So, all right. So a little bit about this, real quick. Yeah. Now I'm not gonna be singing on any of this stuff just yet. Give me a sec. I don't even have any water here. I didn't even make any coffee. I'm super hoarse. For me, it's midnight. I'm gonna be super bashful about like singing on this live, because I'm really a guitar player and I sing because I feel it. But I don't know. No one looks at me and thinks Mariah Carey. So I do it reluctantly, but because like once it's out there, it's out there. So it's hard. That's the hardest part. The hardest part for me is the singing. Um, it's the part I love the most, but it's the part that is judged the hardest. So if you make like one mistake, like everyone hates on you. It sucks. But yeah, so this song is Surrender. So this song is old. All right. This song comes from when I was 17. The kid who I was writing it with, this kid, Dan Breitling, we had a couple cool songs. He actually gave me a lot of inspiration. We worked on me, him, and this kid, Chris Kelly. So I was like 17 years old. I had this 1985 Monte Carlo SS. And I used to pick up these two kids for band practice. And I used to go to my aunt's. I used to pick them up and then go to my aunt's basement because at the time it was really hard to find rehearsal studios. I knew where every single studio was, and I would do anything it took to get people together and get a band and get to the studio. Um, and even at times, so I was going to my aunt's house because my uncle was like this, kind of underground closet musician. Like I don't know, he loves music, but I don't know, he's always been busy being, a normal dude and with like, but he liked music and he had a guitar and he had pedals and he had a drum set and he used to let us set up and jam in his basement. And I took him for granted, like what they gave to me. It was really special. But one of the songs that came out of there, I have a couple of songs and a couple of riffs, like, um, actually, two of the songs on this album came out of that basement. One of them is this. And so, like, all right, so we have like the main riff. So beefy. I love it. And then there's this chorus thing that we had done back in the day, but I think I'm gonna have to change it because that's like just so nice. I'm gonna have to. But what it is right now. Oh. See, maybe not because once I get into it, let me give it a good chord. Where I might not love that, it sure does go into that good. There's that chord. I'm going to take this break to show you another song that I want to show you. Also, brand new, but I'm loving some of the new stuff that I've been coming up with, honestly, so much. So it's not all going to be clean. This is just how I want to play today. All those chords. Oof. So many memories. All right, so I did Surrender. That's like, all right, like I said, not everything here is going to be clean on the album. Everything's going to be a full song. But these are like, this is the beginning. I'm tracking it. I got Pro Tools open. I'll even show you the sessions. All right, and that's the other thing. Oh, maybe I should do that too. So all these songs, I'm showing you here, right here, like live. This is how I work on the songs piece by piece. But what I do have here also, and I'll do. I gotta find this app. I moved all my apps around. Do 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 do. Hurry up, Dean! Come on. I know. All right, so I got these messages. Or this post. It's on this post. Ooh, that's right. Oh, all right. So MJ. He wanted to hear Midnight Sun. Am I already in tune? No, I'm not. Idiot. So dumb. So, I have these songs recorded as acoustic skeletons. And I don't know, I just wanted to show you like a little inside, you know. Um play some riffs, tell a little story. I can also in the end of this little session here, I'll open up my iTunes and I'll play like the songs are actually structured out. But in that time, I'll probably go and get some coffee. Coffee. All right. So, Midnight Sun. All right. Let's see. So, Midnight Sun. That is the name of a Twilight Zone episode. And I was in an argument with my son's mom. And I trying to remember. I gotta listen to it. I forget this riff. I forget the first riff. I'm just blanking. I'll do this though. Yeah, so I was in an argument with my son's mom, and I was at my mom's house in the backyard, and I wrote this song straight up with my son. I've actually written a whole bunch of songs. Yo, major update. Woo, 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 woo. All that jazz. My son said that he would do the album with me. It's like a major update. Like, I don't know what you guys think, but like I never. Oh look, I had the playlist right here. Yeah. So I don't. The thing I've been most reluctant about is I'm gonna do the Patreon by myself, but I've been really holding off because I just don't want to do anything by myself anymore. You know. I do want to do an album and I do want to do my own thing, but I don't want to do it myself. Like I want to like be part of a team. You know, that is what my jam is. My jam is. If no one's gonna be there, I'm gonna do it on my own. And so my son said that like he's inspiration for so many of these songs, and like I was with my son, Midnight Sun, right? Even though sun is like I said, it's named after the actual sun in the sky. The whole purpose of that episode is that everybody's bugging out because the sun is moving closer and closer to the Earth. The Earth has spun off its axis, and it is moving closer and closer and closer to the sun, and the Earth is going to burn up. And you go through the breakdown of society based upon everybody needing water and going stir crazy. And there's these two people who band together, these two ladies, they band together and they fend off this criminal, this like rapist, mugger. And they get tortured all throughout. And then at the end, she like wakes up from a dream and you think, oh, maybe it's all just a dream, right? Then it turns out that the planet did shift off its axis, but then it was moving further away from the sun, so the planet was slowly freezing to death. That's this song. to me. I might have used a capo on this. I did. I'm trying to use a capo because it's better for when I sing. So a little bit here, right? So not to be all like grim and like boo boo boo. It made me realize that, like watching that episode, Rod Serling was extremely philosophical. Sometimes something can be spinning out of control one way. But you got to be careful, because when you wake up from your dream, you're going to realize you're spinning off in the direction the other way. And it's not what the episode it's about, but it's showing the balance. And but controlling, sometimes you can't control what's going on. Sometimes, like the reason, like the woman was freezing to death, so she was in a sweat. You feel me? And she like caught a fever and she was sick, and that's why. So she was burning up, and so in her reality she was burning up, but in all reality the world was freezing. Feel me? So the chorus is forever I'll, and forever I'll be watching over you, just like the midnight sun. Forever I'll be watching over you, just like the midnight sun. And here's where I got like a little artistic. I'm usually so into rhyming, but here it's about the message. So I'll be watching. I'm like not prepared to sing. Here we go. Watching over you, just like the midnight sun. Forever I'll be watching over you, just like the midnight sun. Little pitchy there. Yeah, whatever. It's midnight. I got a hoarse voice. Rough melody. Forever I'll be watching over you, just like the midnight sun. Yeah. I should probably go get some water. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some water while I play. I'm gonna play Become 3. Another one for Rob. Be right back. Enjoy the tune. Here we end it all. Why did you make me become 3? Away on me, did you? This is a lot of these songs. Come from a special time. My bad. So Become 3 here. A lot of these songs are about when I split with my wife. True story. Not every song. Some songs are about reminiscent loves afterwards. Some songs are a mix of reminiscent love and struggling with loving my wife. But I made a pot of coffee, by the way. Yeah, so Become 3, it's an inner struggle song. It's me wondering why I have to become me, myself, and I. By the way, if you can't tell, I'm totally doing this by the seat of my pants. I don't know. I wasn't going to sing at all. I know that sounded like crap. Hopefully that set the bar, so because I can only get better from there. It's bad if I came out the gate doing Mariah Carey and then flubbed the note from here on out. But no, I'm just doing this by the seat of my pants. I'm trying to figure out what we're doing, 2021. What's up? right? This is the new world, apparently. So, real quick, I want to revisit Surrender now that I have the playlist open. Sounds very Texan. Everything's gonna sound very like country, but that's because these are just the acoustics. These are all written on Daisy. I added this. I added this high guitar in the. And to be honest, I don't even remember what it is. I'd have to like sit down and like. Oh, I bet you it was. Oh, yeah, my volume on. I think it was some. I forget. I have to like listen to the tracks. So I have all these tracks. What happened was, all right, another little story. I'll say it after. I'll say it after the song. I don't know. So, you're gonna see me like riffing on these, and some of this stuff, I want you guys to tell me. Like, if I'm gonna noodle over this stuff while we're doing it until like the final product, and if I like hit a note that you're like, "Whoa, man! Like, what was that?" Put a timestamp. Tell me. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Um, I don't always catch everything. I'm not perfect, you know. These are some pretty bitchin' songs, dude. I love these songs. Oh, there goes the vape. All right, and the last song that you guys chose, which was MJ's song, "Lover 10 Years Ago." Now, this song, here's the deal. This song, the version of this, all these songs are getting done as close to in the same session as possible. I want to work on everything all at once. That's why I haven't really done anything. All right, so I came home in 2016. I went on tour with Children of October, and after all that stuff that I said before, if I didn't bore you, hopefully I slice these videos together good enough where you don't see me throwing shit and be like, God damn, when the internet went down. But you know what, dude? It's better off. It's better off that the internet went down because I changed everything up a little bit, and now I'm like 100%, and I feel better anyway. But so in 2016, I was playing bass for Children of October. I played, with a couple other bands, as I'd mentioned, and it was like one band led to another band, 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 led to another band. I should make a beat out of that. Led to another band, led to another band, led to another band, led to another band. It's a good arpeggio. Um, and that's when I started like with my first like t-shirts. And I recorded Life Lessons, which were these 13 songs that I had from writing on the road, and got together somewhere around the time when like I was in Darkness Descends and I was playing this 7-string metal, but I was bringing my acoustic around everywhere. So I really got sick of. I'm a really big fan of. It's gotta sound good on an acoustic. All right, that's my thing. Like, yo, I play with all these shredders. I love the shredders, and I love all this stuff. Trust me, I play metal, and I love crazy stuff. But for me, it's gotta sound good if I'm just sitting there. In so many of my bands, like I think I went into this. I filmed that other part like 2 days ago, so I forget. But like, it was so hard. I definitely went into this. It was so hard to like showcase a song, so I wanted to make sure that everything could be played straight, right? I can have a version of the song, a backbone of the song, um, that can be played on an acoustic, and that's what you're hearing. You're hearing this is the backbone, this is the spine of everything. And so for the album, I'm gonna build it up, but I want the acoustic to stay in a prominent fixture in all of the songs. I'm gonna have electric guitar on it. I'm gonna whatever. I might do some solo stuff. I'm not big on like super crazy solos. I can do cool stuff. I'm big into leads. I'm big into leads. Whatever. I'm just fiddling. Um, I'm big into like a note that's supposed to be there. I don't really care too much about arpeggios. I have them as my practice routine. It's never been part of like what I've envisioned as a lead. Um, I like every note to mean something. That's just, and that's how my playing has evolved. So anyway, so Lever 10 years ago, I wrote these songs, made this album, went on the road with Michael Graves, and I sold this album on the merch table, and I went around the country. So I've never played a live show as Dean, the artist. There's never been one. So yeah, and I recorded this album because I was inspired by making these T-shirts by going on tour with this other band. And then I got this gig playing in this other band, and I was able to sell my CDs and my merch on that tour, kind of get my name out there. And then I came home from that tour. It was a 4-month long tour, 4 months, 2 times around the U.S. And I also did a tour in Canada earlier in that year with Michael. Um, and I made my record release coincide with the tour, um, for Michael, but for Life Lessons. And so I made these songs like kind of punk rock. I've been playing in a lot of punk rock bands, and I do like them. But some of the songs lost a little bit of their flavor. And even some of these songs, these skeletons that I have here, even some of them, they're not just right yet. When I did the acoustic rendition of a couple of songs, I didn't capture the exact essence either. So there's going to be a handful that I'm going to re record. But for the most part, what you're hearing here will be in the final song. Um, the only thing that'll change is like if I add a bridge or a solo section or something. But so I recorded this album and it was very punk rock, and I liked it. Um, it's not exactly how I envisioned it. I stylized it to be punk rock because I was playing in all these punk rock bands, and that was a mistake. Um, it's still a cool album. It's still cool. But as an artist, I'm DIY. I wasn't working on a label. I should have just done it the way I saw it. But it's bigger. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be a lot more work. It's going to be a lot harder. And I still love it. I still love Life Lessons. But disc number 4 of Ocean of Storms. Ocean of Storms is going to be 3 EPs at this point. I was planning for like about 6 or so songs on each EP. If I keep writing songs, each EP is going to have more. I'm trying to space it out with each EP is going to have some new songs and some old songs, but I was just talking to an artist today, and I might have, what's really great about Ocean of Storms is it's like I get to do, because these riffs and all these songs actually do come from the complete infancy of my playing up until today. I might do it in a very chronological order where it's basically a timeline of my life. The only thing is you know, only I know where all the riffs come from. So I might mix it up, and I might do it chronological. I might do some chronological, some mixed up as far as like when I wrote it. But Lover 10 Years Ago is about my son's mom. And I was a lover 10 years ago. Now I'm a liar. Oh, drop D10 in a row. Retune that. This song is very Green Day inspired. This song was actually supposed to be written for Darrow Chemical Company. This riff, I had this idea, and like I really wanted to be on an album with them. I did a bunch of touring with them, and it's very Green Day, man. And so if I I always mess up that riff if I don't play it in a long time. What is it? Nope. I'm such an idiot. That's totally it. I like jamming on the neck pickup the most nowadays. It's so funny. I used to only like the bridge. But now I like. Let's take a listen. I was a lover 10 years ago. Now I'm a liar 10 in a row. And this is just me like saying, all right, now that the marriage is over, I guess everything I did was a lie. I hope this doesn't suck, by the way, what I'm doing right here. Like I said, we're making it up. This is episode 1 of Ocean of Stormtroopers. I know I am a month late. I'm going to make it 2 months late if I consider the first one, right? It's going to be worth it. Bear with me. I'm going to give as many updates as we can as it's going on. But I love this stuff, man. And this is, it's like one of those hype up the crowd. I shortened it on this version. I might extend it to where it was. It's live if I ever get there with this. That's gonna be the break in the middle of the set. Like, if you're not participating, I'm not moving on. And I don't give a shit. I'll just fucking play this over and over. Like the Lamb Chop song. I'm gonna listen back to this. Oh, Midnight Sun. Episode 1 of Ocean of Stormtroopers. I'm going to end on another new idea. I'm trying to just show you guys all the new stuff. Some of these new riffs that I'm playing where I'm like using the loop down here, they don't even have names yet per se, but they are all inspired by something. And one of my favorite things that I love is I love scoring. I love scoring. I love the emotion that you get in that music. So there's this like chordal movement thing that happens in Interstellar in that theme. Hans Zimmer is a goddamn genius. Some of my biggest influences, and you will see in some of these songs, you guys chose some pretty across the board cool songs. Very different songs, each one of these. Even though, like I said, they're all just acoustic songs, I envision each one of these, I don't know, they could all sound very similar, but by the time we get through, like I feel like Surrender is going to be a little bit heavier, you know what I mean? But some of my biggest influences are Hans Zimmer and Danny Elfman, Beethoven, Chopin, to name a few. Johann Strauss, right? So I'm gonna record this thing. This is gonna become something, some part of something. Let's give a good tune here first. Yeah. I haven't played this in a little while. So we'll see how it goes. Already, I didn't like it. See you later, guys.